Last night felt like a breath held too long. The rain didn't merely fall, it poured. Sheet after sheet, hammering coastal cities and pushing deep into mountain valleys. Multiple local stations reported rainfall far above multi-year norms. A cascade of alerts, urban flooding, flash floods, landslides, triggered almost simultaneously. In major cities, streets turned into muddy torrents within hours. At river mouths, tidal backwash drove water levels sharply upward. By dawn, evacuation sirens sent entire neighborhoods moving out under urgent orders. The epicenter of this event stretches along the southeastern seaboard, where provinces such as Fujian and Guangdong took the earliest hits before impacts rippled along major river basins. The rain arrives in 24 to 48-hour waves. One surge barely eases before the next slams in, giving the ground no chance to dry. In low-lying districts, drains are overwhelmed. At estuaries, tides slow outflow. On mountain slopes, waterlogged soils need just one more burst of rain to slip. This triple pressure raises the risk of quickly compounding damage. Cities exposed their weak points instantly: underground parking, underpasses, low interchanges. When rain collides with rush hour, public transit throttles speed, and some lines thin service for safety. Select neighborhoods reported localized power cuts to prevent electrical fires, as utility crews isolated deeply flooded blocks. Telecom infrastructure also groaned as cable vaults took on water, forcing carriers to reroute traffic. From transport to logistics, the dominoes fell. Schedules for cold chain deliveries, farm goods, pharmaceuticals were knocked off balance. In rural and foothill areas, the threat looked different: flash floods. Once soils are saturated and fallen trees dam small streams, the flow is pinched, then suddenly bursts into walls of red-brown water. Single-story homes, grain sheds, and livestock pens at the toe of slopes become the first line of impact. Seasoned locals need only see a creek turn abruptly turbid or hear stones clatter after a day of downpour to know: leave now. Don't wait for the next cell. Hence the 3-minute go bag, IDs. Prescription meds, a flashlight, power bank, and clean water, lean but sufficient. Along embankments in river towns, heavy surf slams low arcades, ripping loose anything not tied down hard. Nets, floats, and aquaculture frames batter one another in the wind's long howl. One weak shackle can collapse an entire rig. Border guards and water rescue teams set soft barricades and bar the public from waterfronts during high-risk windows. Those death-defying clips shot at the spray line are not proof of bravery. They're how bystanders become the next casualties. Both journalists and residents are urged to avoid wind eddies and wave strike zones. No reporting from restricted areas.
家人们，今天带你们看看大上罗的
Inside
红
the
海。
metropolis, sleepless nights repeated in high rises across the
家里
city.
没有热水器的，快点来捞一个回去吧。
Water crept up thresholds, phones blared emergency pings. Households with elders, small children, or pregnancies prioritized the leave early option. Step out when curbside water reaches the warning mark. Not when the living room is knee-deep. Discipline at that decision point is often the line between safety and peril. Elevators may be suspended as a precaution. Stairwells are the escape, and a physical test, where one small flashlight can matter more than anything else. At emergency command centers, digital maps refresh by the minute, flooded nodes, slide sites, blocked routes, shelter capacity. Responders fan out in tiers. Inflatable boats thread narrow lanes. High-clearance trucks ferry the sick. Power crews cut current to danger zones. Mobile clinics set up on the nearest dry patch. Priorities stay constant. Rescue the trapped. Move the critical. Secure clean water. Volunteers run field kitchens. Hand out rain gear, power banks, and baby formula to isolated blocks. Each hot zone becomes a calculus of minutes wrestled back from nature. In crises like this, rumors race as fast as floodwater. Old footage resurfaces. Unverified numbers masquerade as fact. The golden rule holds. Accurate, fast, concise. Residents are urged to follow official channels. Heed geo-targeted alerts. And share only sourced information. For creators and newsrooms, platform policy matters. Credit all media. Add safety advisories. Don't inflate figures. Don't encourage dangerous behavior. And protect victims' privacy. That's not only ethics, it's a requirement for safe publication. A quiet but lethal layer of risk is electricity. Water and power never compromise. Cut power only when it's safe. Lift devices off the floor. Never touch outlets with wet hands. Do not run generators or charcoal stoves indoors. Carbon monoxide kills silently. After floodwaters recede, restore breakers only when outlets and devices are fully drawn, mud-damp sockets or tinder for shorts. In basement garages, check water lines, silt, and ventilation before starting vehicles. 1 minute of caution can spare hours of crisis. Public health enters a sensitive phase after prolonged rain. Floods carry bacteria, chemicals, and animal remains. Drink boiled or sealed water only. Keep food covered and well cooked. Bag organic trash properly to head off fly and mosquito blooms. For open wounds, disinfect, bandage, and avoid dirty water. Fever or swelling requires care. Mental health is a defensive one. 2. Anxiety and insomnia are normal. Talk to family. Keep small rituals, a hot tea, a few deep breaths, to anchor calm. Between two rain bands lies a golden window for hardening. Inspect roofs. Tape up door seams. Tighten loose signage. Pump out basements. Dry outlets. Recharge every device. Jot down newly spotted weak points and fix them before the next round. Still, don't drop your guard. Upstream runoff can push levels back up just when you think it's safe. Every trip outside should begin with one last alert check. When waters fall, after flood work begins, roads are mud slip. Manholes may be open, walls sweat damp, electronics lie in suspended animation. Cleanup needs gloves, boots, and masks. Sort waste correctly. Keep children away from uninspected areas. Photograph damage for insurance or aid claims. Watch for ultra-fast, ultra-cheap repair offers without paperwork. Block by block, the neighborhood will light up again, slowly, but surely. Why call it record-breaking? There's no simple answer. But one reality stands out. Extreme weather is appearing more often, lasting longer, and defying expectations. Rapid urbanization with hard surfaces, aging drains, narrowed river channels, pushes floods deeper and slows recession. Infrastructure upgrades take time, in the short term. Clearing curb inlets, dredging choke points, and drilling neighborhood-level response plans are practical. Low-cost steps. Amid the fury, there are streaks of light, human chains across fast water, hot meals shared in darkened halls, boats bustling upstream, stairwells lit by a scatter of lamps. Solidarity is a soft life buoy that holds. When each of us drops one risky act and adds one helpful act, a community's total risk mathematically drops. As we close, remember, this report is a snapshot at airtime and conditions may change rapidly. Viewers should keep following official local channels for evacuation orders, traffic status, and weather alerts. Our goal is to activate preparedness, not stoke panic, stay calm, act with discipline, and help one another. When the sun returns, what you'll remember isn't only the water,